Well, what are we looking at here? We're looking at the club. The club. So, and no, not the wrestling group. The club. So, this is a title called The Club. It was released by Sega back in. Excuse me. I apologize. I'm still getting over the flu. This was released in 2000 and. Wow, it doesn't. 2007. 2006, 2007. So, come fearless, come strong, come packing. Fight an underground blood sport as one of the 8 trained killers battling in explosive run and gun matches for the ultimate prize, survival. So, you shoot your way through 48 single player levels, score unique combos in the score kill system, and there is an online mode, which I will not be playing. But the premise of the game is that you're part of an underground blood sport club, and you need to go through the levels and get the high scores and kills, and I guess in time. Now, I played this once very briefly before. It's a third-person shooter. I don't remember this ever being advertised. I don't remember this when it came out. I haven't seen a lot of videos on this, and I haven't heard a lot of fanfare about it. But that's why we're playing it, folks. That's the whole point. Yeah, it's my game tag, NY10777. Hit me up on PSN and on Xbox. So, I don't have single event unlocked, so we'll just jump into the tournament. So a few characters you can select. The maps, and I remember they weren't like overly simple. I mean, they had like different levels to them, different layers, but I think there's like a directional path you're supposed to follow. I don't think it's not supposed to be totally open world where you can just go in wherever you want and do anything you want. I think there is actually a premise or a path that you're supposed to follow to escape. And along that path, get as many kills as you can, etc., etc. So, all right. So this is my character, an ex-police officer. So here we go, third person. So you start with a gun. Okay, so I don't really remember the controls here. Now, I guess you gain strength and rejuvenation by actually getting kills. There's gonna be a lot of bad guys, so you don't want to they really don't want you to stand still. I'm trying to see. Alright, I was trying to figure out how to melee this guy. Nice. Now how do I don't know how to change weapons. Okay, I think I just changed my weapon. Now to run. Nice. Hit him in the face. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of bad guys. So you just want to I guess they really want you to keep it moving, and that's how you score points too, by keeping it moving. Okay, here we go. Got some action moves here. Action Jackson style. Nice. Picked up another weapon. Not making any arrests today. And the club, by the way, it's Sega, and I'm playing it on the Xbox 360. I should have mentioned that. So I've been putting out some PS2 videos. This is my 360. don't know how to jump. I'm not sure if you can jump in this scene. Yeah. So you see, there is like it's not like a linear path. Like this is a few different ways to go, but there is a path. You're not supposed to just go anywhere you want, any which way, or climbing and whatever. You're supposed to like follow a general path which leads you towards the bad guys. And typically speaking, when you're playing games like this, if you're not sure where to go, just follow the bad guys. Like where the bad guys are is pretty much the path that the game wants you to take. So if you're ever like confused, that's pretty much your answer. Okay, I lost the combo because I stopped moving. Alright, here we go. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. I don't know how I'm doing or not. I guess we'll see when the final score comes out. But yeah, I mean it's cool. It's basically like playing the ultimate run and gun part of an action movie. You know? I mean, for those who like tactical shooting, like this is not tactical shooting. Like they want you to push it. They want you to keep moving forward. But it's fun. I mean, it's a high fun factor game. And I guess, this is what this generation, whether it's the PS2, and I know the Xbox 360, I think I've brought this up before, but I'll say it again. The Xbox 360 covers the PS2, PS3, and PS4 generation, just to kind of play it out or lay it out for you. And the PS2 and even PS1 generation and before, but the 90s and 2000s especially, going into the early 2010s, the focus was not on just graphics. The focus was on fun factor, replayability. Could you sit down with your friends, play a game, and laugh and smile and just enjoy the action of the game? That's the difference between games then and games today, where it's not that they don't want them to be fun, but they really want the game to be based on, oh, look how beautiful the graphics are, how big the map is. Look how many things you can unlock with like scoring points and microtransactions. That's and downloadable content. These games, it's like you buy a game, you own it forever. It's a ton of fun to play. It doesn't have to be taken too seriously if you don't want to. That's what this game is about. If you just want to pick up a game, and Sega made some other types of games. Don't get me wrong, but this is the kind of game that first of all, I never really heard of it. And when I first played it, I was like, wow, this is actually a ton of fun. I'm literally just running through a map. It's not like hard to figure out where to go. There's a ton of bad guys. And you got to shoot them up or hit them in the face. And if you can do that and get to the end of the map, then you've succeeded. That's awesome. And to me, like that is what video games are supposed to be about. The high fun factor. I'm not saying that they can't be detailed and you can't have RPGs and other types of games, but isn't it refreshing to just play a game where it's like, yeah, I'm Action Jackson, bro. In the simplest, way to say it. I'm Action Jackson. I'm not trying to be anything else. I'm just Action Jackson here. I'm like running around, getting my shots off. And there you go. You press the left trigger. You can zoom in. There's some blood. Now, I'm sure I'm losing points and combos when I'm backing up, but you press A to like do a little somersault roll. But this is fun, man. This is a fun game. I definitely recommend this. Now, I got this game for $12. Obviously, it was used. I mean, I didn't have it new. I couldn't tell you how much it cost when it first came out. But I have it on my 360. I don't know if it even is available on the PlayStation. But regardless, $12, Xbox 360. No, it's not on Game Pass, so you can't play this on your. And I don't think you could find this in the Microsoft Store if you're looking for it on your Series X. So I think you have to bust out your 360, which you should be doing anyway. You should have that thing hooked up because it's a great system. You know, for my money, having a wow, this guy's eating some bullets here. I'm just a terrible shot. You know, for my money, having how do I throw the grenades? Oh, it's B. Okay. You know, for my money, I have my 360 hooked up. I got my PlayStation 2 hooked up, and my and I have a modded PS2 also, but and I have my Series X. If you have those couple systems plugged in, I mean, you're pretty much covered for every genre, every type of game you want to play. Not to say that you know, and I have a Switch, but it's not hooked up in this room. But I mean, if you have, and some people would say, well, you need a Nintendo. I do have a Nintendo 64 also, but I really haven't been playing it. You know, it's not to say like Sega CD or Genesis or NES or you know that there aren't other systems, but I mean, when you think about it, if you have a PS2, that means you have a PS1 built in, right? And then if you have your 360 with the PS2, you're covering like a few generations of games. And then you couple that with, okay, well, I got a Series X and I got Game Pass on it. So, I mean, I have all the modern stuff like Call of Duty and Insurgency Sandstorm, which is a horrifically underrated first person shooter. Um, you know, there's a lot of bangers out there. But if you have like those systems set up, you know, you're pretty much covered. Um, and after I said, oh, it's so easy to figure out which way to go, I come in here and I get myself lost. I think that's yeah. Or it's the way it came. Yeah, it's the way it came. So yeah, I mean that's I think with those combination of consoles, I mean you're pretty much covered. Is this the end of this map? Yeah. Oh, that was the end of that mission. Scored 36,000. Now, how did I score so many more points than the last one versus this one? Maybe because I didn't have a lot of combos. Um, no skull shots. I did use the pistol a lot. Maybe that was bad. I had the high score. Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. Cool. Well, that's what the club is about. That's what this game is about. So, and I guess okay. So there's 6 rounds, and then you go. I guess at the end of the 6 rounds, they tally up your score, and then you move on to another map, and you do it all over again. So you know this was you know that should give you a good idea of what the club is about. I'll probably put out some more just gameplay footage of me playing this game. There's a couple of the games I wanted to throw up there. I did play a little bit of Stranglehold last night. I didn't record the footage though. Um, it was okay. I have Kane and Lynch Dead Man because I played Kane and Lynch 2, but I wanted to put up Kane and Lynch the first one. There's another game, Body Count, that I wanted to play through a little bit more. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Saints Row, so I'm gonna have to do some footage on that game. I'll probably do that from my Xbox Series X because I have progress saved on there, so I probably want to keep doing that. So yeah, I got a couple more 360 games. Want to show my 360 some love. Also, UFC Undisputed 2010. That's a great MMA game. So I wanna make sure I get some footage of that. And also, if you have any requests, like Urban Chaos on the PS2, Showdown Legends of Wrestling, WWE Here Comes the Pain. I've done a lot of wrestling, so I didn't know if I should kind of take a break from that. And obviously, more WWF SmackDown, Know Your Role, on the which I play through my PS2, and also some more NFL 2K5 because let's face it, it is still the greatest football game ever made. But I'll take requests. If I have the game, I'll put it up, and if I don't, I won't. And also, maybe I'll do some more modern games too, because Gotta show the current game some love, right? It's Call of Duty, all that stuff. But anyway, just thought I'd post this game about, or this video about, again, The Club on the Xbox 360. Get it. You can pick it up very cheap. I got it, actually. I lied. I got it for $6 from a video game store called Digital Press Video Games, which I will be doing some footage on for my series on video game stores, retro video game stores, and the video game scene in the greater New Jersey area. So this game was sold originally at some store, can't tell the retailer, for $13, $12.99, and I picked it up for $5.99, and it's totally worth it. This is a high fun factor game, simple third-person shooter fun. So picking up The Club by Sega on the Xbox 360 so that you can have some fun, just like I do always here in the Corner Arcade. Thanks, everybody.